Have you noticed how every moment we are bombarded with sexual images and messages? Everywhere, from social media to television, and even in the music we listen to, there is a constant attempt to capture our attention through sexualization. It seems the world wants to convince us that this is the only way to see things, but is it really so? Imagine your brain is like a garden. Everything you consume, every video, music, or TV show is like seeds planted in this garden. Some of these seeds grow into beautiful flowers and fruit trees, which are the information and entertainment that benefit us and help us grow as people. But others, especially those that try to influence us solely through sexualization, can be like weeds that, if uncontrolled, can choke the good plants and take over the entire garden. Now, think about how this affects your ability to control your own actions and decisions. When your garden is full of these weeds, it can be harder to stay focused on what truly matters to you, whether at work, with your family, or in your personal goals. You end up losing control over what you truly want for yourself because your brain is too busy dealing with these influences that do not contribute to your growth. This is where the importance of desexualizing the brain comes in, that is, clearing the garden of these weeds. This does not mean you should completely ignore sexuality, which is a natural part of life, but balance and carefully choose what you let into your mental garden. Today, we will address strategies to help you desexualize your brain and increase your daily concentration. To begin this cleansing, it is essential to be aware of the choices you make about what to watch, listen to, and consume. Ask yourself questions. Will this add something positive to my garden? Will this help me grow and develop? If the answer is no, it may be time to choose another seed to plant. Additionally, cultivating a healthy garden in your brain also involves replacing weeds with more flowers and fruit trees. This can be done by seeking content that enriches your intellect and emotions, such as books, documentaries, or even music and shows that inspire positivity and motivation. Imagine the positive impact it would have on your life if your mental garden were a place of beauty and tranquility where you could find clarity and inspiration. By consciously choosing what you plant in that garden, you not only regain control over your brain and actions, but also create space to achieve success and happiness in all areas of your life. So the next time you find yourself browsing the internet or choosing what to watch on TV, remember your garden. Choose the seeds that will bring beauty, health, and success to your life, and see how over time your mental garden can transform into a haven of peace and prosperity. After all, taking care of the garden of your brain is taking care of yourself. Taking care of our mental garden against the constant invasion of sexualized content, as we discussed earlier, is the first step toward more effective control over our own lives. The next natural step is the development of discipline, a virtue rooted in Stoic philosophy, which teaches us not only how to deal with our desires and impulses, but also how to achieve a more fulfilling and meaningful life. The key to living a good life lies in self-control, self-sufficiency, and inner freedom that comes from living according to reason and not being slaves to external desires and passions. For Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, discipline was not just a practice, it was an art of living well. To understand how this applies to the modern world, we can look at the concept of apatheia, or the absence of passions. This does not mean the lack of feeling, but the liberation from destructive passions that can divert us from our core values. By cultivating discipline, we are essentially training our minds to respond more calmly and rationally, and not just react to the external stimuli that the media and society constantly bombard us with. Not all desires are created equal. Desires that are aligned with our rational nature and personal values are seen as natural and necessary, while those that are simply products of external influences are considered unnecessary. Stoic discipline teaches us to differentiate between these desires and seek to satisfy only those that contribute to our growth and personal well-being. This principle is extremely relevant when we consider our pursuit of success. If success is defined by healthy relationships, financial stability, and personal satisfaction, then discipline helps us achieve these goals by allowing us to focus on what is essential, eliminating distractions and compulsions that do not serve our greater purpose. Discipline is crucial in relationships. The practice of seeing things as they are, without the filter of our own expectations or selfish desires, allows us to interact with others more authentically and respectfully. This leads to stronger and more meaningful relationships, whether personal or professional. In the context of self-management, discipline helps us maintain consistency in our actions, regardless of the fluctuations in our emotional states. This is crucial for any form of long-term success, as consistency is the foundation upon which trust and reputation are built, both in ourselves and in the eyes of others. Implementing this discipline begins with the daily exercise of reflection and self-examination, practices recommended by philosophers like Epictetus. At the end of each day, an analysis of our own behaviors and decisions can help identify where we were not disciplined and how we can improve. This practice, known as the examination of conscience, is a powerful tool for developing self-discipline. Finally, discipline brings us a reward central to Stoicism: inner peace. By living according to our principles and controlling our reactions to external desires, we achieve a form of internal freedom. This autonomy is true success, as it is not measured by external standards, but by how well we live according to our deepest values. Reflecting on the importance of discipline and how it can transform our mental garden, free from unnecessary influences of media sexualization, we move forward to understand how eliminating distractors and vices can further deepen that control over our lives, culminating in greater balance and well-being. Modern distractors such as pornography, excessive social media use, and the compulsion for new content are comparable to weeds threatening to choke the flowers and fruit trees in our mental garden. These elements, though often attractive and designed to capture our attention, divert us from our deeper goals and the values that truly define who we are and who we want to be. We are encouraged to identify these vices and actively work to minimize their presence in our lives. Seneca and Marcus Aurelius emphasize the importance of focusing on what is within our control: our actions, reactions, and judgments. They would advise us to constantly question, is this contributing to my life in a meaningful way? Is this aligned with my deepest values? Eliminating these distractors is not just about saying no to them, but also understanding why they are so attractive. We often seek these distractions as a way to escape deeper issues or feelings of dissatisfaction or restlessness. Here, discipline acts as a tool to help us face these issues head-on, rather than seeking temporary relief. True discipline, then, is learning to sit with the discomfort we sometimes feel and face it without resorting to vices or harmful habits. It is about cultivating a mind that can see clearly and choose actions that are beneficial and resonate with our authentic values, rather than thoughtless reactions to the stimuli around us. By adopting this approach, we begin to realize that discipline is not just about restriction, but about redirection. We redirect our energy and time from low-value activities to those that enrich and empower us. For example, instead of losing hours on social media or sites that add no value, we can choose to invest that time in learning a new skill, practicing a hobby, or simply being with those we love, cultivating deeper and more meaningful relationships. This path is not always easy, but it is incredibly rewarding. As we clear the mental space occupied by vices and distractions, we find more clarity. This clarity brings with it inner peace, a sense of being in control of our own life, which is true freedom. Thus, by disengaging from these distractors, we not only improve our focus and attention, but also elevate our existence to something greater, more aligned with our ideal of life. It is a continuous process, a daily cultivation of the mental garden we decide to plant and care for, because ultimately having discipline is choosing a way of life that respects and reflects our deepest and most authentic values. As we progress in the mental cleaning journey and restructuring our daily routines to minimize distractors and vices, we emerge for a deeper reflection on how these changes impact not only our everyday life, but also our time and productivity. This new awareness invites us to explore how a more intentional use of our time can radically transform our abilities and achievements, leveraging our personal and professional success. By cultivating a disciplined mind, freeing ourselves from the excesses of distractions, we become more adept at making conscious decisions about how we spend each moment of our day. The quality of our time, after all, is determined by the quality of our attention and intention. If before we were trapped in cycles of instant gratification, now, with a clearer mind, we can design our days with purposes that truly resonate with our long-term goals. One of the greatest revelations that accompanies this new state of clarity is the perception of how much time we really have when it is not consumed by impulses or escapism. It is here that we enter the concept of quality time that the Stoics so valued. They teach us that it is not the amount of time we have, but how we use it, that defines the richness of our lives. Marcus Aurelius, for example, emphasized that the true loss is what dies within us while we live, our unrealized potentials due to lack of focus and discipline. Thus, by deviating from patterns of passive consumption of entertainment and other habits that drain our energy without significant return, we can redirect those hours to activities that not only fulfill us more fully, but also develop us, whether by learning a new skill, dedicating time to deepening our career, participating in volunteering, or simply cultivating physical and mental health. Every choice becomes a brick in the construction of the life we desire. This paradigm shift also allows us to rethink our priorities and how we perceive success. Success in this new light is no longer measured only by external achievements, but also by the inner harmony and satisfaction that come from living aligned with our deepest values. This, in turn, inspires us to set more meaningful and achievable goals, which are in harmony with our authentic self. Therefore, by using our time more wisely and purposefully, we not only improve our efficiency and productivity, but also elevate our overall state of well-being. This is true freedom, the freedom to live deliberately, not at the mercy of external circumstances or internal impulses, but as conscious creators of our own life. In this sense, time management becomes a way of life much more than a simple matter of logistics. It becomes an expression of our freedom and our ability to live fully, one day at a time, with the calmness and determination of those who know they are in control of their destiny. By exploring how to apply the teachings of Stoicism to face and moderate the tendency to objectify people, notably in everyday situations like looking at people inappropriately on the street, we can reap significant benefits not only in our actions, but in our way of thinking and relating to the world. We will address how these principles can be incorporated practically and effectively into your life. First, the use of reason is a powerful tool in your path. We must be masters of our impulses, not their servants. This means that, in the face of an impulse to look at someone as an object, you have the opportunity to pause and ask yourself, is this behavior aligned with the kind of person I want to be? This reflection allows you to use reason to evaluate your actions instead of merely reacting to stimuli. Thus, by consciously choosing not to follow an impulse, you are practicing self-control and aligning your actions with your deepest values of respect and integrity. Next, the practice of temperance is crucial. It encourages us to live a life of moderation and control over excesses, which undoubtedly includes the way we express and live our sexual desires. By exercising temperance, you learn to balance your natural impulses with respectful and considerate conduct. This can be as simple as consciously diverting your gaze or choosing to focus on non-physical aspects of the people around you. This habit, cultivated daily, strengthens your ability to control your actions and promotes a deeper respect for yourself and others. Finally, living consciously and present profoundly transforms how you interact with the world. This aspect focused on control over what is within our reach helps cultivate a mental presence that dissipates distractions and frivolous thoughts. When you fully concentrate on the present moment, fully engaging with your surroundings and tasks at hand, there is less room for inappropriate wanderings. Additionally, this practice of mindfulness reinforces your ability to appreciate people as complete and complex beings, with qualities and virtues that go far beyond physical appearance. By incorporating these teachings into your life, you not only disengage from harmful behaviors, but also pave the way for a richer and more respectful life. You become someone who not only respects others in their entirety, but also lives according to the highest standards of personal virtue. This is a powerful path not only for self-control, but for a profound and positive transformation in how you see and interact with the world around you. Throughout this conversation, we have explored how a focused and deliberately directed life can lead us to a richer and more meaningful state of existence. We have seen how mental clarity and an intentionally constructed life allow us not only to maximize our productivity, but also to improve the quality of our relationships and our ability to achieve long-term goals. The challenge of desexualizing the brain, that is, reducing the constant influence of sexualized stimuli in our daily lives, is revealed to be crucial in this journey. By facing this challenge, we not only free our minds from unnecessary distractions and impulses, but also make room for deeper and more meaningful thinking. In this context, the commitment to mental clarity and purity of focus can be truly transformative. Every conscious choice we make to deviate from the constant bombardment of sexualized content helps us redefine and redirect our energy towards nobler and more lasting goals. We become capable of cultivating deeper and more authentic relationships and pursuing goals that reflect our truest values. Sharing a personal experience, there was a time in my life when I felt my attention and energy constantly fragmented by an incessant flow of inappropriate and superficial content. I regularly found myself distracted, unable to concentrate on activities that really mattered to me, such as creative writing and developing deep relationships with the people around me. Making the decision to purify my media consumption was not easy. It involved changing ingrained habits and resisting temptations that were just a click away. However, by implementing these changes, I discovered a new sense of freedom. Over time, the fog of distraction began to lift, and I found myself able to think more clearly and connect more meaningfully with others. My creativity flourished, and my ability to concentrate improved dramatically. This transformation not only improved my quality of life, but also allowed me to achieve successes that previously seemed unattainable. Long-term projects, which were once obscured by momentary distractions, now received the full attention they deserved. Relationships that were once superficial and unfocused now became sources of deep support and inspiration. This experience reinforced to me that the discipline of actively filtering what we allow into our minds is not just about restrictions. It is about creating space for personal growth. It is about reclaiming our ability to direct our focus and energy to build the life we truly desire. Therefore, when considering your own life, think about how desexualizing the brain can not only improve your focus and productivity, but also elevate your existence to something more fulfilling and meaningful. Every deliberate choice we make moves us away from the chaos of excessive stimuli and moves us toward clarity that can truly transform our lives. I leave you a video where you can continue learning. See you there. Until next time.